football, basketball, tennis, and baseball. These are all things that everyone knows is a sport, and no one questions it. They are also a hobby, but more importantly is everyone knows a sport. There's some sports that aren't considered that for to most people, such as dance team. And yes, there's regular dancing, as in just for a studio where all you do is a performance at the end of the year. But today I'm going to be talking more about the teams that perform either for judges at a competition or in front of crowds. There's well, not many sides, but two different sides to this story. Either dance team is a sport or it isn't. People that say that it's not a sport would think, sport? No, not at all. Are they athletic? If you don't think so, then you don't think it's a sport. Or if they train. And obviously, dancers don't train whatsoever. Now, what dancers do is they compete as other sports, just the same way. Might look a little different, but the same way. They're also very athletic. And dance team, as said in the title, is a team and works all together. And as the Oxford English Dictionary describes it, a sport is an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or for others' entertainment. Dance does both of those. The main one that they do is competing. One competition that most teams in Iowa compete in is the Iowa State Dance Team state competition every year. At this, you go in front of judges and perform as hard as you can throughout different categories such as pom, hip hop, and jazz. In these, you try your hardest to be able to get to, in dance, it's considered Division 1, which is the highest rating. And if you don't, then you'll get Division 2. That's like being a winner or a loser. And then there's also spot placements, such as first place, second place, like everything else. And you always compete to try to get to the very top. And whoever gets to the top gets trophies, like other things do. Dancers also compete, or not only compete, they practice a lot to be able to compete. How dancers practice is through how they compete is they have to practice a lot. And while they're practicing, they do many things, and they have to be very, very athletic to be able to practice. Athletes are known as many different things, and to be an athlete, you are a really hard worker. You do something that requires a lot of skill, and it takes a lot to be able to either do any of these cool jumps that dancers can do, or turns. You have to engage your entire body to be able to even do one single turn. And it takes a lot of effort to do any of these things. And like Emily O'Neill says, dancers should be represented as athletes, and dance should be represented as a sport. It's athletic, requires intense practice, and it's competitive. And along with it, it brings a lot of knowledge and a lot of possibilities for injuries. And I would know a lot about that. I've had many injuries from dance team, and it's not fun. And lastly, dancers are a team. When you're a team, it means that you work together to create a whole. Not only do you compete by yourself to get higher ratings, you also compete as a team. And like any other team, the team is only as good as its worst dancer. They have to take many tries to get everything at the exact same time, and that takes a lot. If you have to try to make something become exactly precise whenever it takes a lot of effort. And it takes a lot of teamwork to try to combine 17 different people to be doing the exact same thing at the exact same times. And as Prauchi says in his article, an individual cannot perform all tasks by themselves. It takes a team to make something, to go towards a full goal. And so, such as our team right here. And as we wrap up, we talked about how dance teams compete as just as other sports, how dancers are athletic, and how a dance team is a team.